All right, Shalom, giving all praise and glory to the Most High. About Shema Mashiach Yahushua. We're going to start out, as always, with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do, a word or deed, do all by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. In the name of the Lord and Savior, in the Hebrew. So, we're going to continue from where I was dealing with my lesson with order pertaining to women and pertaining to us as a nation, you know. So, let's look at Matthew the 5th chapter and the 31st and 32nd verse. No. We want to jump up to look at verse 27. Matthew 5 and 27. It says, "Ye have heard." When he says, "Ye have heard," have you not known? It has been said. It's all in the Old Testament. That's all he had to go by was the Old Testament. That's it. You know, he didn't have any New Testament. You know, by the time you get to Acts, the 1st chapter, the 9th verse, he ascended up into the right hand side of the Most High. So after that, he came back in the 2nd chapter as the Spirit of the Most High. And from there on, you know, he was dealing as the Spirit of the Most High. So he's saying, "Ye have heard," so that's in the Old Testament, that it was said by them of old time, "Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say to you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart, in his mind." Look at a woman, and that's got to be a woman, married woman, because that's adultery. A man being with a married woman, that's adultery. Which it tells us in the law, the 10 Commandments. You go back to Exodus, the 20th chapter. Because all the laws are based upon how you love the Most High and how you love each other as the Israelites. Love the neighbor as thyself. So the Most High said in Exodus in 20 and 14, he says, thou shalt not commit adultery. Right? He said we should not commit adultery. And adultery is a man that goes with a married woman. A woman that's married to another man, that's adultery. Or a woman that's married going with a man outside of her marriage. So now let's jump down to verse 31. So that's wrong. In the eyes of the Most High, that's a sin. So it says, "It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement." So you divorce your wife, he said, give her a writing of divorcement. "But I say to you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery." So if you put away your woman, you divorce your woman, get rid of your woman. I don't like this, I don't like that. Then that's what we were doing. The hardness of our heart. He said, except for fornication, cause her to commit adultery, is you get married to someone. "And whosoever shall marry her, that is divorced, committeth adultery." You see? So that puts it in a pretty difficult type of situation when you're looking at a lot of, we as the Israelites have gone into this type of situation. Why the Most High told us in Acts 17 and 30. He said, in the times of this ignorance, because you didn't know the understanding of the word of the Most High, the Most High winked at. You see? He looking over it. But now, commanded all men everywhere to repent. You got to repent. You got to ask for forgiveness for the things that you have done, knowing this situation, if it's right or wrong. You got to make sure that you repent. You ask for forgiveness, because he have appointed a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness. And we know the righteousness is the keeping of the Most High's laws. Deuteronomy 6:25, all day long. By that man who was a Mashiach Yahushua, whom he have ordained, whereof he have given assurance unto all men, in that he hath raised them from the dead. walked the earth for 40 days and ascended to the right hand side of the Most High. So going back to Matthew, the 5th chapter, it says, verse 32, but I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. The one that is committed fornication, whoever marry her, committed adultery with her. So let's look up fornication. I looked up fornication in the Compact Bible Dictionary and what he's talking about. And it says it was commonly associated with heathen worship and was used as a figure of disloyalty to the Most High. You see? When you're going against the truth, the laws of the Most High. You know, the things that the Most High has given us throughout the Bible in his rules and regulations, his instructions. So, go to Deuteronomy 24. Because this is what they asking them. They asked him about concerning it. Deuteronomy 24. Because this world now is all upside down, flip-flopped and diced and sliced and whatever you want to say, is all contrary to the word. Deuteronomy 24:1. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he have found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement. Now you know what Mashiach Shai said. He said, only for what? Fornication. He said, let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Right? And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And that's what the law is saying. And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement, she get with another man, he hate her, don't deal with her, get rid of her, give her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife, she married another man and he died, her former husband, the first husband she was with, which sent her away, gave her a divorce, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled. You see? Well, that is abomination before the Most High. Like some women, they go back to their old man that they had before. See, after she done left, that man, she go back, she defiled. And that is abomination before the Most High. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. So we didn't do that. It didn't happen. And if it happened, then there was a consequence. The Most High said adultery was put them to death. You see? So these are laws of statute commandments that we have to go by. So from there, let's look at 1 Corinthians 7 and 10 and 11. Because the world we in now could change within minutes. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 10. It says, and unto the married, and these are moral laws, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Most High. This is the Most High saying this. Let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, Salakia, let her remain unmarried, meaning she can't go with another man. That's why Mashiach Shai said that's adultery. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, back to her husband. And let not the wife put away and not let the husband put away his wife, right? Because the Most High hate divorce. He hate separation, you know. He don't like that. Look at Mark the 10th chapter. Go to Mark the 10th chapter. You know, because men was like, you know, I don't like certain things about your woman, and they just kick them to the curb. That's not right. And then you'll see that within our nation. He just told you about the woman, her leaving her husband. You know, it's conditions that a woman definitely don't want to be with a man. Beating her down and doing all kind of crazy things to her. Nah. But in the confines of the law, you got to be in order, because when you do things that's contrary to what it is written here, that's why you got to know the scriptures, so you can operate according to the scriptures, and that way you be all right. Numbers 10, let's start at verse 2. And the Pharisees, they was always against him, coming up with questions for him. And the Pharisees came to him and asked him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife? Tempting him. So who the tempter? The devil tempting him. And he answered and said unto them, what did Moses command you? So now going all the way back to what? What he tell you? Going back to Moses, where's Moses at? The law. The law. He said, what Moses command you? He said, and they said, Moses suffered to write a bill of divorcement and to put her away. That's what we just read in Deuteronomy 24, chapter, the first verse down. And Mashiach answered and said unto them, for the hardness of your heart, hardness of your mind, the way you thought and think, he wrote you this precept. But from the beginning of the creation, the Most High made them male and female. Listen. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain, them two, shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, no more two, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let no man put asunder. He's telling you, what the Most High has put together, let no man put asunder. And in the house, the disciple asked him again of the same matter. He said, what are you talking about? Make it clear to us. And he said unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another, committeth adultery against her. And if a man shall put away and if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committeth adultery, which is a sin. So this is what you're looking at. And you think about all the men that have just got with a woman and just kicked her to the curb. Women that's got with men. I don't like them no more, whatever. They take the time to know them. Kick them to the curb. That's what he's saying. If a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committed adultery. And the man. Verse 11, and he said unto them, whosoever shall put away his wife and marry another, committed adultery against her. But he already said fornication, right? We got to keep that in mind. So look at Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Ezekiel, the 16th chapter, because a lot of times we are caught up in things that we don't understand, especially when it comes down to spiritual things. Especially now, it's really very important to be on point. Ezekiel 16 and the start of verse 3. And say, thus say the Most High, power under Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Because you remember he gave us the land of Canaan for our inhabitation. Where we going to live at? That's the 12 tribes of Israel. He killed 7 so-called African nations, Hamites, greater and mightier than us. Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother a Hittite. You know. Because what do we do? He's going to let you know. He said, kill them all. Look. I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure that y'all don't think I'm just talking, because I don't like to just talk. I like to prove all things, right? So let me prove it. Go to Deuteronomy 7. The problem was, the Most High said, There's 7 nations, they're named in verse 1, right? I'm not going to go through that. Verse 2 says, and when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, these 7 nations, is what he said, thou shalt smite them, thou shalt kill them, and utterly destroy them. Kill every last one of them. Utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Right? He told us to kill them all. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? But they would turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, other idols, because all the gods of the nations are idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, everything they believe in, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire, right? That's why he's saying, we ain't do that. So he said, your father was an Amorite, and your mother was an Hittite. Because we married into them. Let them marry into us. And as for thy nativity, verse 4, in the day that thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to supply thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swallowed at all. None I pitied thee. Nobody cared about us to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. But thou was cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person, in the day that thou was born. And when I passed by thee, seeing that nobody gave a dang about us, most I said, when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thine own blood. I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live. Yeah, I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown. Shoot, man, our women had long hair. Can you imagine an afro that went all the way down your back to the floor? We say thine hair is grown, whereas thou was naked and bare. It was naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee, Moses said, when you passed by us as the children of Israel, I looked upon thee. Behold, thy time was the time of love. He said the time that you had for us was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness. Yeah, I swear unto thee and entered into a covenant with thee, said the Most High power, and thou becamest mine. You hear that? He said, entered a covenant with us, and we became his. Look, hold that. Get Psalms 105. Just to show you. Psalms 105 and 8. Psalms 105 and 8. Yeah, remember this covenant. That's a contract agreement forever. You hear this? Forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant contract agreement he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. So listen what he said. Going back to Ezekiel 16. He said in verse 9, then washed I thee with water, cleaned us up, giving us his word. Yeah, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. So Most High said he did to us. We was decked out. He decked us out. Embroidery, you think that's new? He said, look what he said. I clothed thee with broidered work, all kind of designs in our clothes and so forth. Nothing new under the sun, y'all. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. And I put a jewel on thy forehead. Put a jewel on our forehead, because we had crowns. And earrings in thine ears. Men and women and boys and girls had earrings in their ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. See, we had crowns. We wore crowns upon thine head. We weren't bareheaded. He put a crown upon our head. Now you tell the Most High he didn't. That's why you see ancient pictures, we had crowns, y'all. Different things that he gave us for headpieces. He said, thus was thou decked with gold and silver. Hear that? Thus was thou decked with gold and silver. And thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Again, you know, they got the machines that put all the designs on it, broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou was exceeding beautiful. Hear that? Exceeding beautiful. Not just beautiful, but exceeding beautiful. And thou didst prosper into a kingdom. Yes. And our renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty. I mean, come on, y'all have to realize, you know, I mean, we the best looking people on the earth. I mean, and thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness. Hear that? Through the Most High making us beautiful. His beautifulness. You hear that? For it was perfect through my beautifulness. That's comeliness, which I had put upon thee, said the Most High. This is our power, y'all. He said, but thou didst trust in thine own beauty. Got big-headed and played the harlot, knowing he did all this for us. And we gonna turn to something contrary to the Most High. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, looking all sharp and everything, and played the harlot because of thy renown, and pourest out thy fornications on every one that passes by. His it was. Hear that? Everybody that passed by, his it was. It's cold, man. Look at Ecclesiasticus. Hold that. Ecclesiasticus 26. The 26th chapter. And verse 12. It says, she will open her, listen, she will open her mouth as a thirst. Remember he said, because of thy renown, and pours out thy fornications on every one that passes by, his it was. Right? It says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain. Y'all know what this is talking about. When he has found a fountain. Open her mouth, it's talking about oral sex. And drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow. That's talking, you know, the arrow is straight ahead, and the quiver is her opening up her legs. And the arrow is the man's private part. Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. You know, she bend her eyes, she look in a certain way. The whoredom of a woman, you can tell by that. Verse 24. A dishonest woman contempteth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. See? A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. And you know, it's sad because in the New English Bible Dictionary, it says the Gentiles were called dogs by the Israelites because of profaneness and because of homosexuality. But it says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High. She will fear the Most High. So look at Back to Ecclesiastes 16 and 16. And of thy garments are clothes thou didst take, and deckedst thy high places with diverse colors. So we decked these idol places that we went to in these high places with different colors. He didn't gave us the garment. It was, I emphasize broadened, as he said, like we, you have things that's designs on it. We deck the high places with clothes that he put us in, with diverse colors, and play at the harlot thereupon against the Most High. And like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given thee, and we decked us out with all this, and made it to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them. Hear that? Images of men. Took the gold and silver that we had, just like during the time that Moses went up for 40 days and 40 nights to get the commandments from the Most High. Israel made a golden calf. Aaron said, take off your golden earrings from your sons and your daughters' ears. He made a golden calf. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold. As Most High said, my gold, and of my silver, which I had given thee, as we read about previously, and made it to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them, worshiping idols, and tooketh thy broidered garments. There was, Most High allowed it to go down. They had to be beautiful. And tooketh thy broidered garments, and covered them. Cover these idols up. And thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them. That's why I be telling y'all, man, we did the Most High wrong. Felt good reading about how he decked us up. Now here we decked us out. Here we come doing this to him. And we think the Most High is supposed to be down with us. We got a long way to go, man. In the way we think, in the way we act, and the way we speak, man. And tooketh thy broidered garments, and covered them. These images and these idols that we made, that he gave to put on us, we put it on some idols. And say, this our power, knowing that the Most High gave us these things. Nobody cared about us like they don't care about us now. Verse 19. My meat also which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, well, if I fed thee, thou was even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, said the Most High power. That sound like what they put in front of these idols, Buddhas. They put all that stuff in front of it. We do follow the same way. Making an idol and then putting all this, he said a meat and a flour, the things that we're supposed to sacrifice to the Most High, put in front of some idol. How disrespectful is that? Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast born unto me, our sons and our daughters, that was born unto the Most High, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? Took our sons and our daughters and burned them up, man, in the fire. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? That thou hast slain my children, delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them? For these idols? Of these other nations? And we done learned their way and added flavor to it? And in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms, Thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. See? That's why we got to go back and go over these lessons, these stories of our story, so you can really see what we did and what he did in loving us. I mean, this is so terrible. In reading it, it felt good reading it. But now, when you think about the Most High, if you love him, you see how we did him and still doing him like this. That's why I say those that's going to do these things go off and do the things that's abomination, filthy, wicked act, evil, sins before the Most High, yeah. In all thy abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. Or they not going to remember how they was out there sinning, doing the things that they were doing, and the Most High called them into this truth and cleaning them up. That's why he said, it's better for you not to have known. It's too late for you that know. It's too late for you, any of us. He said to go back out there, he said you're going to be like, he said you're going to be like the dog licking up his own vomit. He said you're going to be like a pig wallowing in his own crap, eating out of your own crap. Might as well get your food out the toilet once you use the bathroom and put your food in that crap. That's what a pig do. That's how he look at you. Man, he said he got us out of the condition of being naked and bare and washed us from our blood that was all over us. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness. See, after all thy wickedness. Woe, destruction unto thee. Destruction unto us, we the Israelites. Said the Most High, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and has made thee an high place in every street. Every street, can you imagine that? The Most High built us all this time, and here we are, multiplying our whoredom against him. Disrespectful to the utmost. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, all throughout the streets. We got idols. And has made thy beauty to be abhorred, made our beauty to be hated. No matter how good you look, I hate you. And has opened thy feet to every one that passes by. Uh-oh. That's what I just read to you. Open thy feet to every one that passes by. You open up your feet, I mean your legs wide open. You got no respect for yourself. What he says, and open thy feet to every one that passes by. Not only spiritual whoredom, but you actually a hoe and dealing with just sleeping with anything or everybody. That's what it said. And has opened thy feet to every one that passes by. And multiplied thy whoredoms. This is what we did. Ezekiel 26. No, I already went over there. Go to Jeremiah 2, the second chapter, and verse Jeremiah 2 and 20. Jeremiah 2 and 20. He said, for of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands. And thou sayest, I will not transgress. He broke our bonds of captivity, slavery, and bondage. And burst the bands, shackles that was on our hands, on our wrists, and on our feet, our ankles. And thou said, I will not transgress, I'll be good. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to do what you say do. I'm going to follow your law, statute, commandments. When upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot. You hear that? We lied to him. Ain't no lies going to the kingdom. So you better be sure in what it is that you think better be the truth. It says, because here we go. Upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot against the Most High. The harlot is like a prostitute. You know, that's what a harlot is. Y'all know what that is, right? You know what she do. That's what he's calling us as a nation. Sad. Go to Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, the first verse. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, like a man divorce his wife, and she go and be with another man. Shall he return unto her again? Shall he go back to her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? Remember, he told you in Deuteronomy 24, 1-3. We read this already. Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Hear that? Played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again to me, said the Most High. Meaning we went dealing with all this, the idols of the other nations. Believing in what they believe, like it is today. You can't find no religion in this Bible. What religion I'm asking, nobody's responding. They keep the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and have taught about their sacrificial laws. And understand what the sacrificial law that we got to deal with now is. If thou can say. What religion? The Most High didn't give us religion. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He said, lift up thine eyes unto the high places and see where thou hast not been leaned with. In the ways hast thou sat by them, as the Arabian in the wilderness. You know, they dealing with the stone, black stone, cobblestone. And thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Well, you know, Arabs, they had a god for every day of the year. When he's talking about back this time, you see. And thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and thy wickedness. So we have done. And that's how he's looking at us now. In all these different demon nations. You know, they call it denomination, but the elite know what I'm saying is true. Demon in nations. That's what they put there, because what do you have? When you have the Bible say, talk to me about this, that, the Bible is a book of life. Like the law is life. The words of the Most High is life. And it covers everything. But they have chose the way of the world. Well, I call them secular churches, worldly churches. New age, things that come up new. That the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, the prophets, know nothing about. Didn't exist during the time we reading the Bible. Which one? Which religion? That you can name. Therefore, he said, therefore the showers have been withholding. The blessing has been withheld from us. And there has been no latter rain. And thou hast a whore's forehead. Dang. See, you got a whore's forehead. Thou refuses to be ashamed. Doing the things that we doing and still don't be ashamed. Look at our people now. They buck wild, man. Doing all kind of crazy things. To make money, to be seen, to be somebody. And the Most High eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the things that's being done. They refuse to be ashamed, doing the things that they ain't even ashamed. Trying to be somebody in hell. Wilt thou not from this time cry unto me? My Father, thou art the guide of my mouth, my youth, the guide of my youth. Wilt thou not from this time cry unto me? This Most High telling you, my Father, thou art the guide of my youth. Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldst before the Most High. He said, all you need is me. But you see what we doing? We did it then, we're doing it now as a people. The Most High said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done? You see what these northern tribes have done? They has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there have played the harlot against the Most High. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. Sinners do all these things, these abominable things. And he's still saying, turn to me. But she returned not. Didn't want to turn back to the Most High. Remember Jeroboam, he made 2 calves. Moses came down from the mountain, seen that calf, grinded it up, put it in the water, made Israel drink it. Every last drop of it. All 12 tribes was there. And what do? We always taught about what happened in our youth as a nation. So they knew about those things. He made 2 calves. That's why he talk about northern Israel. The 9 tribes. That's called Israel. And Judah is the southern tribes. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And I said, verse 7, and I said after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah, the southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, saw it. Saw what they were doing. Like we know what they're doing now. And we could read about it as we read about it now to see what we did against the Most High. We seen what the Most High did. We knew what the Most High did. He said, leave them alone. He said, leave them alone. They deal with idolatry. Isn't that cold? He said, leave them alone. Dang. They dealing with idolatry. Straight up. Look. Go to Hosea 6 and 10. He said, I have seen an horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is the whoredom of Ephraim. Israel is defiled. Hear that? Also, O Judah, he hath set an harvest for thee when I return the captivity of my people. He set Judah up as the head tribe. It's cold. Going back to Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. Verse 7. And I said after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw it. So the southern tribes seen it. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Got rid of them. That's why when you read Corinthians and Thessalonians and Philippians and all the different chapters in the New Testament that Paul's writing to, or he visited other northern tribes of Israel and some of the southern tribes, but mostly the northern tribes, scattered among them nations, following what the nations were dealing with, idolatry and putting flavor to it. That's why he's saying what he's saying. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. Stones and with stocks. This is our gods. Stones and stocks. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but fiendly, said the Most High. And the Most High said unto me, the backsliding Israel have justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, said the Most High, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve. He's saying, return to him, all you of the northern tribes. He said he ain't gonna hold his anger forever. It ain't gonna fall on you. But if you don't return, it's gonna fall on you. For I am merciful, said the Most High, and I will not keep anger forever. He said, only acknowledge thine iniquity. You gotta acknowledge your sin. That thou hast transgressed against the Most High thy power. You have broken his laws. You have sinned against the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. And have scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. See, we taught the wicked ones our ways, it says. And our ways compass the ways of the wicked. Hear what it said? And have scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, said the Most High. And you wonder why we're in the condition we in. Turn, O backsliding children, said the Most High, for I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city and two of a family. And I will bring you to Zion. It's not saying much as far as numbers, is it? One of a city and two of a family. Bringing us back to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart. And the heart is of mine, the way he thinks. According to thus say the Most High's word. Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. This is very important. Ezekiel 26. Ezekiel 26 chapter and verse 12. It says, and they shall make a spoil of thy riches, and make a prey of thy merchandise, and they shall break down thy walls and destroy thy pleasant houses, and they shall lay thy stones and thy timber and thy dust in the midst of the water. Take everything that we have and break it down, down. Salakia, that should be, that's the wrong scripture. Go to John the 8th chapter. No, I want to go to, let's see, hold up. 26. It's Ecclesiasticus 26. No, we did this already. Go to Leviticus 19 and 29. Try there. Leviticus 19 and 29. To the law. Salakia. Leviticus 19 and 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. See? You're supposed to be prostituting the daughters of Israel to cause her to be a whore. That's why Marshall Shai said, the only way you're supposed to be divorced is fornication. And there is a strict about what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. Look at Ecclesiasticus 36th chapter, and let's read verse 21. It says, a woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. A woman could receive every man because all she got to do is just like you say, like you just said in this lesson, she opened up her feet. Open up her feet, that's her legs open. And she can receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. So now, this is very important because also spiritually in Jeremiah 6 and 2, that's the actual scripture of what it says. Physical women and Israel too, as a nation. We look at Jeremiah 6 and 2. From what we just read. And the Most High said all we need is him, and we made idols and all kind of things like it is today. He said, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So we are Zion, the 12 tribes of Israel. So this is what you're looking at in we as a people. Trusted in who? Trusted in man. Some man got us all twisted. Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus say the Most High. Jeremiah 17 and 5. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Most High. And that's what happened. A man come up with this idol. Somebody had to make them idols. Somebody had to do it. It wasn't made on their own. Wisdom of Solomon 14. Wisdom of Solomon 14.